Hey, Namaskaram. Sorry for the. I just had to make sure that the recording is on. I think the recording is on, so it should be okay. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah.
We
So
can
you can hear
you.
me, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, I think the recording is on. I can verify. I think it's on. So let's hope everything is okay. All right. Let me show the screen. One second, the host has disabled. Let me enable and come back. 1 second, hold on. अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः अस्मत्परमगुरुभ्यो नमः अस्मत्सर्वगुरुभ्यो नमः श्री कृष्ण परब्रह्मणे नमः श्री लक्ष्मी नृसिंह परब्रह्मणे नमः श्री लक्ष्मी हायवदना परब्रह्मणे नमः सर्वं श्री कृष्णार्पणमस्तु. Okay. So let me see if I can share the screen. Yes. Sorry for the delay. Hope you can see my screen. Can you see my screen? Hello?
Yes, I can see.
Okay, very good, very good. Okay. So the thing is, the first thing what Madhvacharya says is the Advaita Shrutis are not really Advaita Shrutis. They don't indicate Brahma Jiva Aikya at all. So he picks up the main Advaita Shruti, the so-called Mahavakyas, and tries to give the meaning which Madhvacharya says is the true meaning of the Mahavakyas. So what are the meanings? By the way, I think a few months back, we took all these statements, I think, and we had a big clash, I think. For some reason, I'm repeating it. So this would be some kind of a revision actually, because I think I have dealt with all these Mahavakyas according to Dvaita earlier. Am I not right? Anyone? I think Aditya
Yes.
is not
Yes.
here. I think
some of these have been covered earlier.
right.
Yeah.
So this would be basically a revision. I had to do the whole, whole notes completely from the beginning, because it comes. I don't know why I had to do it. I just did it. Okay, let me see how it goes. This may be a repetition for most of you, and you may be bored. Let me know if you are getting bored. Okay. The Advaita Shruti says, Nachat tatra etra tu asya sarvam atmaiva bhut tat kenakam pashyet. This is a Brihadaranyaka Upanishad Vakya. It says that etra tu asya, for him at that time, for a jnani, sarvam atmaiva bhut, everything has become atma. It is a moksha dasha. In the moksha dasha, everything has become aksha. Tat kenakam pashyet. What will he see with what in that state? So this indicates some kind of a denial of everything else other than Atma in the final state. So this appears to be exactly a Advaita Parashruti. But Madhvacharya says it cannot be Advaita Para. Then what happens to the other Shrutis which are Advaita Parashrutis? For example, Advaitanna Pashyati, Pashyanvaitanna Pashyati. This is another verse given by given in the Brihadaranyaka. Another verse is Nahi Drashtur Drishter. These three go together. That is Advaitanna Pashyati, Pashyanvaitanna Pashyati, Nahi Drashtur Drishter Vipariropo Vidyate Avinashitvan tu Tadvitiyamasti Tato Anyat Vibhaktam Yat Pashyet. So these three sentences are together in the Upanishad. So let us see what we understand out of this. Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, Chaturtho Adhyaya, Tritiya Brahmana. That's what the verse is. It says, verse 23. Yadvaitanna pashyati, pashyan tatra pashyati, nahi drashtu drishter viparilopo vidyate avinashitvat, tan avinashitvat, natu dvitiyamasti, tato anyat vibhaktam yat pashyet. This is the whole verse in Brihadaranyaka. It says, this is the meaning mostly according to Shankaracharya also. I could not go into the real clarity in which Shankaracharya explained because it's complicated. His meaning, what he says, is a lot more explanation there. But hopefully the simplified version captures what Shankaracharya says. And when it appears that in deep sleep, it does not see, yet it is seeing though it does not see. For there is no cessation of the vision of the seer, because the seer is imperishable. There is then, however, no second thing separate from the seer that it could see. This is what it is said, and it is referred to the deep sleep state. So in deep sleep, there are no objects or nothing separate from the seer, and only the seer says there cannot be a cessation of the vision of the seer. So only the objects are missing, but the seer is as it is. That is the understanding of the deep sleep here, according to Shankaracharya. Now, the claim, what do you call, these people, they think that these statements establish Advaita without a doubt. But Madhvacharya says, Jiva Brahma Veda, okay, the claim is Jiva Brahma Veda cannot be established. That is the claim. So all these are Advaita Parashrutis according to Advaita. So what does it say? Paramam Brahma Veda Brahmaiva Bhavati. He who knows Brahman becomes Brahman. Tattvamasi, O Shvetaketu, you are Brahman. Aham Brahmasmi, I am Brahman. Ityadi Vakya Virodaha. That means all these clearly deny oneness of Paramatma. Let me do one thing. I think there is an echo coming because I have two computers on now. Let me sort of shut off one, or make sure that the echo is not coming. Sorry, just a second, please.
Hello? 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 Hello?
Actually, I don't think there's an echo. So Tattvamasi means you are Brahman. Aham Brahmas means I am Brahman. So these are the statements which are a problem for Dvaita. But Dvaita says that is not a problem. So they say in the statements like Yatra tu sarvam atmaiva abhut and so on, Abheda is not supported. That is, Advaita is not supported. So first let us understand Napritya samjna asti, which is a statement which comes later in the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. So what it says is, in the Dvitiya Adhyaya Chaturtha Brahmana, verse 12, I think, or 13, 12 or 13, I'm not sure. Sayatha Saindhava Kilya Udake Prasta Udakame Anuviliyeta Na Hasya Udgrahanayaiva Syat Yato Syad Yatoyas Syad Yatoyas Twadadita Lavanameva evam va ara idam mahadbhutam anantam aparam vijnanaghana eva etebhyo bhutebhyah samuthaya tanyevanu vinashyati na pretya samnyasti ityare bravimi iti hovacha yajnavalkyaha. What does it mean? It says, according to Advaitans, what they say is, as a lump of salt has neither inside or outside and is altogether a homogeneous mass of taste. Even so, this self, my dear, that is, he is addressing Maitreyi, has neither inside nor outside. That is, the self does not have an inside or outside and is altogether homogeneous mass of intelligence or jnana, jnana ghana, prajnana ghana. This self comes out as a separate entity from the elements, and with their destruction, this separate existence is also destroyed after attaining this oneness. It has no more consciousness. So this is how Advaitins think. The Advaitins think that the Jivatva is lost and the Jiva consciousness is not there, and there can be only one. And etebhyo bhutebhyo samuthaya means giving up this body of different elements. The Jiva, in fact, Jivatva is not there. Jivatva goes away. This is the understanding of Advaita. So the Brahman is the homogeneous mass of intelligence, and the Jiva comes out as a separate entity from the elements, and with their destruction, the separate existence is also destroyed after attaining this oneness. So Jiva is connected with the elements, and the Jiva destroys itself in the state of moksha. So there is no Jiva. And along with the rest of the elements, the Jiva and the Sharira and all the elements, Prithvi, Tejo, Vayu, Akasha, all these elements are gone because there is only one Paramatma, one Atman. And this Jiva consciousness is not there anymore. That's what is said by, understood by Advaitins. Tatparya is Gita Tatparya written by Madhvacharya. Sanjnanasho yadi bhavet kimuktyanah prayojanam. Jiva is Jnana Swarupa. In samsara, through mind, Jiva acquires Vrittik Jnana. That is, mind interacts with the external world, and you understand about the external world. You also understand about yourself, the mind, and everything in a some kind of a transactional way. So Vrittik Jnana is that which comes to you through your mind and senses, ahankara including. In Mukti, this Vrittik Jnana goes away. Because in Mukti, there is no Vrittik Jnana related to matter and external surroundings, and any Jnana acquired in bondage, that is not necessary. However, Maitreyi was confused when Yajnavalkya said this, thinking that if Jiva Swarupa Jnana is also lost, Jiva as a Swarupa Jnana is, the Jiva as essentially what Jiva is. If that Swarupa Jnana is also not there, what is the use of moksha when Jiva is destroyed? So that was her doubt in her mind. She doesn't completely voice out her doubts, but she says, oh Yajnavalkya, you are confusing me. Mommy, please mute yourself. Please mute yourself, Mommy.
7 बजे आऊंगा क्या नहीं तो
Hello.
Hello.
One second. Can you please mute yourself? You're being heard. Whatever background noise is there, we are getting there. Please mute yourself. I hope you are muted. Okay. So Maitreyi says, oh Yajnavalkya, you are confusing me. He says, no, I am not giving you wrong knowledge. What Yajnavalkya means is Bhutaja Jnana, is that Jnana with respect to the Panchabhutas, or which is known as the Vrittik Jnana in relation to the objects here in this universe. That knowledge is gone for Muktas. Or we can say, for those here in bondage, they do not have the knowledge of the Muktas. So you can take it either way. So mainly, if you let us take one meaning, Bhutaja Jnana or Vrittik Jnana is what is acquired in our state of bondage here. And that Jnana is lost when we go to moksha. So, what Yajnavalkya meant is, I did not say Jiva Swarupa Jnana is lost. I did not say that. So he clarifies with a simple answer. What do you call? He just says, I am not confusing you. And that's what he says. But what it means, according to Madhvacharya, is Maitreyi got the clarification that Jiva Swarupa Jnana is not lost, but Jiva's Vrittik Jnana is lost. That's how he understands it. By the way, for those who are interested, you have to do a lot of manana, thinking on your own, study on your own, to understand what Vishishtadvaitins say, what Advaitins say, even more, so that you clearly get in your mind what is being said. But I will try to help you as much as possible. But teaching is only one part of it. Manana is still the homework a student has to do. Student cannot just listen and go and assume that everything is clear. And Madhvacharya says, even objects are never destroyed. The external objects are Prakriti. Prakriti is Nitya. If Prakriti is Nitya, how can Jiva Swarupa go away? Jivas are also Nitya. The substantially Jiva has to be there. The concrete substance which Jiva is made out of, which is full Jnana, has to be there. That is not lost. But the Vrittik Jnana is lost. That is the knowledge of objects of the external universe or anything that Jiva obtained in this universe. Tatparya is Srimadvacharya's Tatparya, what he says.
Now, can I pause you here for a second?
Vishwam Vinam api sputam aswatantriyat bhinnamiva sthitameva yadedrisham. All these things are, we don't have to read everything.
Krishna, can I pause you and ask a question? I'm a
Sure,
little
go
confused.
ahead.
So in the previous slide, the Jiva Swarupa is not lost, the Prakriti is not lost. So what is this Vritti Jnana?
Vritti jnana is knowledge of objects. Suppose somebody cheated this person while he was here, and then he lost some wealth or something like that. There's this kind of knowledge, whatever is related to external life. Suppose, see, nothing is, all acharyas anyway accept that when you go to moksha, you will not remember, you will not have any idea of what happened here, right?
So the holding grudge or
all the different problems you had in this world, pain, pleasure, and all those things, these are not there when you go to moksha. It's completely gone, right? You don't even have a remembrance of it. Even you say you have sarvajñatva also, when sarvajñatva comes, basically you don't have any prakriti sambandha. So the prakriti sambandha krita knowledge, everything is gone, right? Agreed?
Okay, so you have complete knowledge of Prakriti, but not your relationship to the Prakriti that you had while you were alive in the last Janma.
Yeah, Prakriti Sambandha is completely destroyed. Otherwise, you will be still not, you will not have moksha. You will be right here.
Correct. Okay. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah. Any other
Or
questions?
can it be taken that in the complete knowledge that Jiva might not be interested, even if he remembers the past, he is not interested because he has gone beyond that.
Definitely, he will never even look for it or whatever it is, right? He is not interested. That's one thing. And in any way, bottom line is he has lost it. Tanye vanu vinashyati. You have to make sense out of what Brihadaranyaka is saying. Anu vinashyati. Following the external objects, everything will go away. That is the meaning there.
Okay.
So the knowledge of external. So here, what Madhvacharya is arguing is on loss of vritti jnana. Loss of jnana related to what happened, all the problems this person had, all the people whom he has cheated, all other people who have cheated him, any kind of knowledge you can think of. All this is lost. But that is with respect to the world. But what is not lost is the very essence of the Jivatma, that Swarupa, which is the form of Vijnana. Next. Okay. Now I think there is some explanation here of all the words he said. This Sanskrit is a little difficult. Let us try to understand what is. Jagat is by nature different from Sarvottama, Paramatma, Vishnu. Okay, Jagat is always different. All else is dependent, and hence Dvaitam Iva is used. See, Dvaitam Iva, what do you call, where is that verse Dvaitam Iva? Hold on a second. Not this one. See, there is a verse which shows Dvaitamiva Bhavati. Okay, I'm not referring to it properly here. Let me check it and I'll validate it later. Okay.
Is it in the third slide?
Third slide. Which one is that? No. See,
Or maybe the next one, maybe.
Oh, yatra tu dvaitamiva bhavati. Okay, now I got it. Now I got it. It is the same as the first verse. Etratvasya sarvam atmaiva bhut, right? The words behind it. Etratu dvaitamiva bhavati tad itaram pashyati. All those things come there prior to this first line in the original Upanishad. That is where the dvaitamiva. Etratu dvaitamiva bhavati means if there is duality. All right, that is the English understanding of it. But what Madhvacharya says is Dvaita means there is no difference from Paramatma in the sense that difference means independent, different entity. Well, difference is not just Bheda. There is no independent, different entity other than Paramatma, Vishnu. That is the Dvaita. Etratu Dvaitamiva Bhavati means everything is dependent on Vishnu, and there is no independent, separate entity other than Vishnu. That is why the Eva is there. Eva means as if there was duality. Here it says as if there were independent reality other than Vishnu. That's what you need to understand. So only
In
when
this
you accept
point,
such a difference in moksha, so in moksha, that is the state of moksha, right? Etratu asya sarvam atmaiva bhut tat kenakam pashyet. That is actually during moksha. So when everything has become Atman in moksha, what do you see with you through what? So everything at that time is dependent on Sri Hari. Everything is dependent on Hari. Etratu dvait. So the thing is, there is no independent reality other than Vishnu. So in the state of moksha, you have to accept there are differences. There is Swarupa Jnana of Jivatma, which doesn't go away. Ishvara Jnana is there, that is, you need to know knowledge of Ishvara. Atmanubhava, that is, Jivas experience their own Atmanubhava. Without Swarupa Jnana, without their own substantial Jiva Swarupa Jnana, nothing else can be explained. Even their experience of the Lord, knowledge of the Lord, experiences in moksha cannot be explained. So, so basically, one second. So such statements that there are beings and objects different in moksha are there. Jakshan, Kridan, Ramavana, Stribirva, Yana, Irva, all these things, statements show. And even Madhvacharya has in the earlier classes we have seen, he has shown several statements in Bhagavata, Vishnu Purana, and several other places and other Shrutis he refers to, saying that there are differences in moksha, there are different experiences, objects of experience, and Vishnu, and all the experiencers, the jivas, who are all muktatmas. That is there, and we have to agree with it. So Advaitin can say, basically Advaitin says, there is no knowledge of self or Paramatma over there. There is no separate knowledge. This is explained by Shankaracharya in the Narada Sanat Kumara Samvada in Bhuma Vidya. Bhuma Vaitat Sukham. Bhuma is Parabrahman. And that is explained in what do you call, in the Bhuma Vidya Prakarana. I think it is in Chandogya, probably. No one will ever put a lift. If somebody says that, I won't exist, if I get moksha, that is like completely deleting myself, completely removing myself. So no one will have would put effort to go and say, okay, I want to destroy myself. That doesn't give any impetus to anyone to do any work for moksha. So swaprayatna will go away. So this is not acceptable. Hence, you have to accept that being different from Vishnu, the independent one, the only independent one, and Jiva will experience objects around there due to Swarupa Jnana in moksha. So moksha is expansion of knowledge which allows experience of all enjoyable objects over there, different from and near Vishnu. Moksha cannot be anything other than this. So this is explanation given by Madhvacharya on moksha. Let me make a small change here. My other computer's voice has to be reduced. Give me a minute, please. Okay. Now we will pick up this verse. Yadvai tanna pashyati, pashyan vai tatra pashyati, nahi drashtur drishter viparilopo vidyate, avinashitvat, natu tad dvitiyamasti, tato anyat vibhaktam yat pashyet. The meaning taken for this verse is, and this is Shankaracharya's meaning, Advaita meaning, and when it appears that in deep sleep, it does not see, yet it is seeing, though it does not see. For there is no cessation of the vision of the seer, because the seer is imperishable. There is then, however, no second thing separate from the seer that it could see. So this is the description of deep sleep, where the seer does not see anything other than anything else, because there are no objects to see, and there is no second entity. And this is what is explained in this verse by Shankaracharya. Now, what Madhvacharya says is that is not the meaning here. Paramatma's forms are non-different. Yanna pashyet paro Vishnu dvitiyatvena sasvataha. What this means is, if he sees something as different, those things will become different. If Paramatma sees or wills something to be non-different, they will be non-different. If Paramatma wills some things as nitya or eternal and different, they will be eternal and different. So jivas and jadas are will of Paramatma, which are separate by will of Paramatma by design, and they are distinct, separate from Supreme Ishvara. On the other sense, the avatars of Vishnu, he wills that they are not different from himself. So that becomes not different. He is same as Vishnu. Whether you see Vishnu as Vamana or Varaha or Narasimha or Krishna or Vishnu, all these are only Vishnu only. Any of these avatars are not different from Vishnu. There is no difference between Krishna and Vishnu. That is the main idea here. Here, obviously, Chaitanya Sampradaya considers Krishna as the highest, but that doesn't matter. That's more like from the personal point of attachment and bhakti. It is more like Ishtadaiva kind of view, I think. It can be explained that way. Vibhaktatvena niyatam yasmat pashyati sarvada, pashyanneva yato Vishnus tadabhedam na pashyati. Those he sees as different are different always. So Chetanasya na bhedo asti tato muna. So Chetana and Achetana can never be one with Paramatma. because they are designed, their will to be different. Paramatma's jnana is never deluded. So his will, his power, his Shakti, nothing changes. So Jiva Jada can never become one with Paramatma. The Pata Bheda is there. I don't know whether I mentioned it earlier. Shankara Bhashya takes it as the original as Yat Vai Tam Na Pashyati. And Madhva Bhashya takes both forms. Yat Dvaitam Na Pashyati is also taken. Yat Dvaitam Na Pashyati is also taken by Madhva Bhashya. He takes two forms here. And Madhva Bhashya clearly says this shloka is not with respect to Sushupti Kala or deep sleep. The next one is the Brahma Veda Brahmaiva Bhavati. Before that, you have any doubts on this?
I definitely like the Madhva Bhashya's explanation better here because it makes a lot more sense to understand and digest. But at the before shlokas of this, what is the part of, what the shloka kramas here? Like, what is the shloka before this? Is that talking about Vishnu's, or is it talking about Sushupti, Turyavastha?
Oh, you mean before this in the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad?
Yes.
Oh, that's an interesting question.
Because if it is talking about, the whatever previous state, and then it talks about Sushupti state, then the Advaita is a better explanation.
That's a good question. Hold on to it. I will answer it next time because I need to study it myself and check what are the statements prior to this statement. I need to check. So I'm here directly making sense out of what the Madhva Bhashya Tatparya and Gita Tatparya and Gita Bhashya are telling line by line, and whatever is explained by the Gita Prasthana book, which is a PDF which I shared, I think, which is in Kannada. So I'm just directly, that itself is 1,000 pages long, more than 1,000 pages long or something. And so even to cover that, we will take a long time. So I'm mainly taking these views. In fact, if you go to the actual Upanishad Bhashyas, it becomes even more difficult. So this Upanishad Bhashyas, which we are considering now here in the Dvait, in the Madhvacharya Gita Bhashya class, is only a first level treatment of this Upanishad Bhashya, Upanishad verses. We are not taking the complete view of the Upanishad yet, and that we'll have to refer back to the Upanishad Bhashyas themselves later on and compare them to understand it properly. But I will check and let you know.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Any other
I
question?
have one question, excuse me.
Yeah.
Yat vai tam na pashyati, yat dvaitam na pashyati. See, want to know what is the original shloka? How is it?
Very good
question. Is it the Anvaya done by Acharyas, or what is the origin? How does the original shloka run?
Yeah, good question. See, the thing is, the original shloka, according to Advaita, only takes us Yatvaitam na pashyati only. Okay? According to Madhva Bhashya, it can be Yatvaitam na pashyati or Yatvaitam na pashyati. Both are possible. But what I found out is this is a very good question because I didn't know the answer for it.
Text. I want to know the previous Purva Apara word for Yat Vai Na Tam Na Pashyati. That whole shloka. How the Anvaya is done, I want to know.
Yeah. Yat Vai Tam Na Pashyati. There, what do you call? So the thing is, see, Anvaya from Shankara Bhashya, you mean?
No, I mean, Yat Vai Tam Na Pashyati. Is this the text that runs, or Yat Dvaitam Na Pashyati? Is it the text? How is the Anvaya done? What is the original shloka?
See, this is like a Kanva Madhyandina Bhashya Beda, Pata Beda, right? The original itself, there are two patas, according to experts. There are a number of scholars, Veda scholars, who originally look at this, what is the original? They say both are possible originals according to different schools or different disciples of the Vedas. So Veda has Pataveda. For example, in Kanva and Madhyandina Patavedas, there are differences in Ishavasya Upanishad according to two patas. Both are valid because they were supported by two different direct disciples of the Ishavasya's mantra drashtas. So even here, there are different, there are a lot of research done on this, and much difficult to handle in this class. But they say that there are different Patavedas and both are valid.
Pataveda done for a shloka, no? So what is that original shloka or original mantra?
No. In the original shloka itself, these two are come as optional. So, some people say it is yat dvaitam na pashyati. Some people say it is yat dvaitam na pashyati. So these both are valid according to Purvacharyas, because this all comes from the Veda Patas, right? And Veda Pata will do Krama Pata, Jhata, Gana, and all this validation to see if both are valid. They say both are valid according to the Pata Vedas. So you can here the problem is there, and we don't understand why. There are some rishis who picked up the first option. The second option was picked by some of the rishis who were there in the same school of Veda.
There should be an explanation from Madhva Bhasha for yet why tam na pashyati. No. They cannot only explain only yad dvaitam na pashyati. They cannot explain only this
both
statement.
are explained in Madhva Bhasha. In Madhva Bhasha,
so what is the explanation for yet why tam na pashyati?
Yeah. So the thing is, what they say, yat vai tam na pashyati means if he does not want, he does not will something to not exist, that will not exist. Yat dvaitam na pashyati means if he wants difference, he will make it different. For example, jiva jada are bhinna from Paramatma. That is because of his will. And if there is no yat vai tam na pashyati means if there is no bheda, if there is no difference, that means himself and his avatars are not different. So if he says, I will not look at the difference, there will be no difference. I will not, I want them to be different, there will be difference. So these are both acceptable to Madhva Bhasha. But the meaning is
my
different.
doubt is, my doubt is, yet why? What is the meaning for why according to Madhva Bhasha? Madhva Bhasha. Bhashya.
Okay, in this particular Gita Tatparya, those things are not explained. That means we need to look at Madhva Bhashya, Upanishad Bhashya, and there are a lot of commentaries on top of Upanishad Bhashyas like Jaitirtha, Vyasatirtha, and other people. Unless we check it, we will not find. I can have to find it and let you know later, if I have time.
No, just had a doubt, that's why I asked.
Sure. I have to go check. I have to study that to find out what does that why means, and tam na pashyati. Tam is basically the difference, I think. The why
because
may be
it is
just
very,
additional.
It is easy to understand. Yet dvaitam na pashyati. Yet why tam na pashyati? What is the explanation? Is it the original
see, the
statement?
why is for certain. Why is used for certainty, right, in Sanskrit?
Certainty.
Yeah, tad ha, tad why. Yeah. I will tell you after doing some more research on the why and details.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Now, Paramam Brahma Veda Brahmaiva Bhavati is another Advaita statement, very Advaitic statement. So, what does mean? Knowing Brahman, one will become Brahman. So this will state that if you know Brahman, you will become Brahman. And that is the state of moksha. So when you know, you will become Brahman. This is the Advaita view. What Madhvacharya says is, the word Brahma, it refers to all these people. Brahma means Brihatva. Brihatva means Gunapurnatva. That is completion, complete gunas. In gunas, the person becomes complete. And so what does it mean? This does not state abheda or complete oneness of the aspirant and when he gets moksha with Brahman. That is not oneness with Brahman and Jiva. What it means is the word Brahma can mean Jiva also. The reason is Brahma means Gunapurnatva. Or to some level, Jiva is Gunapurna. And to some level, in fact, the next verse says, Prakriti or Lakshmi is Parama Brahma. Jiva is Brahma. Jiva can be taken by the word Brahma. Parama Brahma refers to Prakriti or Lakshmi. Vishnu is Parama Mahat Brahma, which is highest level of Brahma. So Brahma is Gunapurnatva. So at a particular level of Jiva, based on the category the Jiva belongs to, when the Jiva gets moksha, that Jiva gets a higher level or at its level complete Gunapurnatva. But Muktas or Lakshmi can never get the glory of Vishnu forever. So, however, by knowing Vishnu, any Jiva, they can attain Brahmatva. Brahmatva means Gunapurnatva, according to their own individual capabilities and quota and eligibility. That means Jnana, the Purnatva refers to Jnanatva, Anandatva, and all those gunas. So these gunas are complete only in Vishnu. But by meditating on Vishnu and by the grace of Vishnu, the other entities can get higher level of guna completion. That's what it means. Brahma Veda, Brahmaiva Bhavati. Brahatva will come. Brahatva is Gunapurnatva. So they will become, so at a particular level, a Jiva can get the maximum Gunapurnatva that Jiva deserves with the capability based on the category the Jiva is. In the state of moksha, Jivas are same as Parameshvara. Now, Madhvacharya uses logic. What is the logic here? In state of moksha, Jivas, if in the state of moksha, Jivas are same as Parameshvara, which are Aikya with Ishvara, how can they separate out during samsara? If they are one with Parameshvara in the state of moksha, when the creation occurs, how can they separate out from Ishvara? They have to be one with Ishvara. So even here, the Ishvara and Jiva have to be same. And how do they become, then we have to answer the question, how do they become, Ishvara can become stuck with sorrow and he becomes dukhi like everybody else. How Jiva, so if they are forced to undergo sorrow, Ishvara also can be forced to undergo sorrow. If he is forced to undergo sorrow, that means he is not an Ishvara. Assume that, suppose they say, no, because of ignorance, the sorrow comes. Then Ishvara is Sarvagnya. If Sarvagnya, how can he get ignorance? If they state,
Here I have a question.
Brahma causes
Here I have a
ignorance.
question, Krishna.
Yeah.
That is,
No,
when
One second. Hold on to your question till I complete the
Okay.
logic, because the other people will be confused with the logic. I have to explain the
Okay,
logic
okay.
first. Once the logic is explained, then you can ask the question. Please wait.
Okay.
So here, first thing is, why does Ishvara and Jiva are one and the same, Aikya only, right? According to Advaita. If they are one and the same in the moksha, they have to be one and the same right here also. If they are one and the same right here, then how can Ishvara become dukhi? And if Ishvara, they say, no, Ishvara can become dukhi because of ignorance, ajnana. Then how does Sarvagnya Ishvara get ajnana or ignorance? No, Sarvagnya Ishvara can get ignorance because of Brahma or delusion. So Brahma causes ignorance or ajnana. Then again they ask, how does Sarvagnya gets Brahma? Sarvagnya is all-knowing. He cannot be subjected to illusion, delusion, Brahma and all. So what Madhvacharya is saying is, Ishvara and Brahma are not compatible. That means, please wait till I finish this. I will stop for you to ask questions. So Ishvara and Brahma are incompatible. Ishvara cannot have Brahma or delusion. So what is delusion? Delusion is not knowing the true substratum or the Brahman, or not knowing the rope. If you don't know that it is rope, you think it is snake. If you don't know that it is Brahman, you think this is universe. So not knowing the substratum, adhikarana, true substratum, which is Brahman, that is delusion, that is Brahma. One cannot get delusion Brahma without ignorance of the substratum. That is, without ignorance of the true, without the ignorance of the rope, one cannot be deluded. Without Brahma, ignorance of the substratum or ajnana cannot arise. Brahma causes ignorance of the substratum or Brahmajnana. So Brahma is also, you cannot say, what do you call, without they become self-dependent, mutually dependent. That cannot happen. What cannot happen? One cannot get Brahma without the ignorance of the substratum. But without Brahma, ignorance of the substratum cannot arise. Hence, Ishvara can never get Brahma because he is Sarvajna. Since Jivas have ignorance, Jivas cannot be same as Ishvara. So, Advaita should not take it that way. The Advaitins should agree that Jivas are separate, the Jivas can have Brahma, and Jivas are never same as Ishvara. Hence, Jivas are different from Ishvara and will get moksha by the grace of Ishvara. Here, Madhvacharya only uses one simple logic to explain that Ishvara and Jiva are separate and you need Ishvara's grace or prasada to achieve moksha. That's all. Here it is. Now, tell me what your question is.
My question is, in the bonded stage, we have, you say ignorance or maya, whatever it is. After one individual, one jiva becomes real, he realizes he is a realized soul, he gets moksha. That means that he will not return back. As far as that particular individual is concerned, there is no plurality, whatever it is. Maybe that what is his state, we do not know. But after his realization, he will not return to samsara, no.
The question is, why did, if you say Jiva and Ishvara are the same, why did Jiva get dukkha?
I didn't understand the question. Why did
in
Jiva?
the state of moksha, Jiva and Parameshvara are same, right? One and the same, right?
He goes mingles with Ishvara or Parabrahman.
No mingling. He becomes one with Ishvara. Don't use
Okay.
mistakable terms.
Sorry.
He becomes Aikya. Jiveshvara
Okay.
Aikya. There's no
Then-
difference between Jiva and Parameshvara. If in moksha there is no difference in Jiva and Parameshvara, why should creation make the separation? When
Creation
they
is
created,
there for
they
other,
become separate then?
other jivas in the samsara. It will continue. As far as the individuals, they have not realized, they have not sadhakas, they will be in the samsara. So one particular self which has done sadhaka according to attaining grace from his guru, when he attains moksha, he will not return. No, that particular jiva doesn't return. Maybe in Madhva state, whatever Madhvacharya says, whatever is the moksha, but he will not return back. No, that particular jiva. So that was my question. There are innumerable jivas in the samsara, but one particular jiva which is realized, it will not come back. No.
See, what is the understanding of Advaita? They say that, look, you are looking for Jiva, there is no Jiva. And that is only Ishvara. Look at the 13th chapter of Bhagavad-Gita very carefully. He says, Kshetrajnam chapi mam vidhi sarvakhetreshu bharata. What does it say there? Whatever you think as Jiva is, I am the same as Jiva. Krishna says, I am the same as Jiva.
When
according to
no,
Advaita.
it is not in the bondage stage. It is in the realized stage, he said.
He says, because of the Maya of the universe, that is the only true state, right? That is because whether in the state or not, what Madhvacharya says is, he says, once you accept oneness of Ishvara and Jiva, who is bound here? Who is the person who is bound here? Can Ishvara be bound? Why is Ishvara seeing the world? Is Ishvara seeing the world and all these jivas? Why is he seeing duality? Is Ishvara knowledgeable? If he is Sarvajna, then he should know that there are no jivas and jada, and there is only one Atman. Then he is not Sarvajna. What does Sarvajnatva mean? So he is questioning the very tenets of Advaita here. That is
no, I want to know the meaning. So when he says the so akamayata bhavusyam prajayaya, does Madhvacharya accept these statements also?
Yes, he accepts. But what he says is there is always difference between Jiva and Paramatma. And I have no problem explaining all the Shrutis.
Oh, maybe, but when Jiva, there may be difference in Jiva and Paramatma, okay. But when the Jiva is realized, that Jiva doesn't come back, no, for samsara.
He doesn't come back. He doesn't come back. He goes to a Vishnu Loka, and there he has separate existence.
Whatever it is, but he will not return back.
He does not become one with Vishnu.
No. Whatever is oneness, whatever is moksha, he will attain that.
Yes.
But he will not come to
is
samsara.
separate. No. Even in moksha, Jiva stays separate. And he is dependent on Paramatma Vishnu.
Let it be, and but he will not come back to samsara, no?
No, he will not come back.
That was my point. So it doesn't matter, whatever it is, whether he is dependent or independent, and whether he is same as Ishvara, whether he is same as Paramatman, that is not the main thing. One, if doesn't come back, that itself is the end of the purpose of to get released from the
True. There is no difference there. There is no difference there. But what Madhvacharya is trying to say is, I do not accept Aikya, and none of the Shrutis support Aikya. That's what he's saying.
That I understood. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Any other questions? Anybody else?
One question I have. Actually, even Shankaracharya will not, he will believe in, he says about Jiveshwara Aikya only as Nirguna Brahman, not as Saguna Brahman.
True. You're right. You're right.
So,
but what it is, no. Suresh Ji, think about this. In this universe, truly what is true? Jiveshwara Aikya is there everywhere because the world is mithya, right? Jivo Brahma Eva. Jiva, Jagan Mithya, Jivo Brahma Eva Kevalaha, right? Brahma Satyam, Jagan Mithya, Jivo Brahma Eva Naparaha. This is the statement. Brahman is what do you call? Brahma is Satya, true. Jagat is Mithya, and Jiva is Brahma only. That is there for all times, whether you are bound or not bound. Even now, it is only ignorance which is causing, and they cannot explain ignorance. This Maya, they cannot explain. So what Madhvacharya says, your model is weak. Your explanation model of Maya theory is weak. That's what he's pointing out to. And every other Acharya does it for Advaita anyway.
The difference between Advaita and the other two, this thing is, the Advaita actually has this thing, Nirguna Brahman, where they equate everything. Whereas here, when we are actually trying to equate Jiva and Ishvara, we are actually trying to equate the small Jiva with the infinite Saguna Brahman itself, which is impossible. So if at all there is an attack on Advaita, it has to be directly on the Nirguna Brahman only. Possibility of existence of Nirguna Brahman.
No. That is true. That Nirguna Brahman is always the truth, right? Nirguna Brahman is the real truth. So the thing is, in this Saguna Brahman and this one, what you call Saguna Brahman and all these jivas and everything like that, they're all untrue anyway. And when you say Saguna Brahman is Sarvajna, that is just Namke Vaste, namesake Sarvajna. He is not truly fully Sarvajna. If he is Sarvajna, he cannot see anything. Sarvajnatam in Advaita means you have to deny everything and everything is lost. Other than Nirguna Brahman. There should be nothing else. So what he is saying is he is making fun of the model, that's all. Not that this logic is perfect. But the thing is, he is just using one logic to say that the Advaita system seemed to be not right. That's all. Brahma, where does Brahma come from? One question comes up. How did Saguna Brahman come up? Is it because of Brahma? You have to accept yes. Where did this Brahma come from? To whom does it Brahma come from? Does Brahman gets affected by Brahma? All these are real question marks which are not easy to answer in Advaita model. That's what they are saying. Your model is weak.
Swami, does the Dvaita view take upon any arguments about Adhyasa? Like the Adhyasa is...
Eventually, they take about almost on anything. They will take Adhyasa completely and analyze Adhyasa also later on. In this, we are only taking the statements in the Tatparya given by Madhvacharya here as a context.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So, let's go further. Oyatvad aham nama Bhagavan Harirabhyaha. So, what Madhvacharya, he gives a very far-reaching generic meaning of all the words. Whether it is aham, which is usually used as I, that aham means only Paramatma here, nothing, not I. According to Madhvacharya, aham means Paramatma. Asmi means Paramatma. So all these words are Paramatma Vachaka only. When you say aham Brahma Asmi, aham is Paramatma, Brahma is Paramatma, Asmi is Paramatma. He takes everything to mean only Hari. How does he do it? That's what he says. Aheyatvat aham. Oyatvat is also says. Aheyatvat means blemishless. Heya is blemish. No blemish, that is Hari. So aham word only means blemishless. Bhagavan Hari Rabhyaha. So that unchanging Bhagavan Hari is that aham. And asi, you are, all those things refer to only Paramatma. Gunapurnatvat asmi. Asmi means Gunapurna, unlimited. That's mitatvat, mi means mita, that is limited. Asmi means not limited. So unlimited is same as Gunapurna, or complete with all the auspicious qualities. So even the Kriya Pada, another thing is even the Yushmat, Ashmat Shabdas, you and I, all refers to Paramatma, and he goes a little bit details. All the Asmi is also limitless as well as Dushta Samharaka, that with any kind of problems he can solve. There is no problems he cannot solve. And Yathartha Jnana Sarupa, he is truly as it is, true knowledge, that is true person, true knowledge. And Tvam means Tejas Swarupi. Tat Tvamasi means Tvam means only Tejas Swarupi. Tat also means Sri Hari. Hari. Tat Tvam. Asi means also Hari. So in his all the words directly refer to Paramatma. That's what he says. So what does Kriya Vachaka means? Kriya Vachaka is verbs. Dravya Vachaka is name of objects. Guna Vachaka is name of gunas or attributes. All of them mean only Hari. So why is Yushmat, that is your Tvam means Hari is in front of you. Hari is in front of everyone. Hari is, so everything what you see, Hari is actually looking at you now. So he is referred to by the word you. So that is Yushmat Shabda. Asmat means I. Us. This Asmat Shabda is also Hari because he is in the hearts of all people. Tat Shabda means he is not visible to our eyes. So Tat also refers to Hari. So Aham Brahmasmi, Tattvamasi, and all these do not include Aikya. They are only descriptive explanations of Paramatma Hari only. That's all he says. Okay, here I have to stop because the next portion is, if there's so many slides are there. 1, 2, oops. 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 more Sanskrit texts. I have to take it up next week. So today I could only take this up, and I think we have covered everything we have covered here in the last class, right? Or in the previous, a couple of months back, right? Is it true?
Yes, yes.
So this whole class was a revision, only a revision in a way, right?
I have a question. I mean, yes, I can understand that we are all one with Brahman. We are Brahman, but we say the world is a reflection of Brahman, and it's like a mirror reflection. When we stand in front of the mirror, we reflect ourselves. So ultimately, what is the reflection? There is something that it reflects. Do you understand my question? What is it that it is reflecting? When you say Maya is just a reflection, it is not real. It is like we looking into a mirror. When I look into the mirror, I look at myself. When the world is being reflected from Brahman, so it is reflecting something. So there is something there. Did you get my point?
Okay. So what do you mean? Finally, what is your question?
My question is, if it's a mirror reflection, it is not reality. There is a reality which it is reflecting.
Okay. So what is your question?
So why do we say that it is a reflection? It is real. So what I mean to say, the world is real.
Okay. So the thing is, that's what Madhvacharya is saying.
Yeah, that is what he should understand Madhvacharya in this respect.
Yeah, exactly. Madhvacharya that's what he's saying. But for Advaita, everything, there's only one thing which exists. Only knowledge, ignorance makes us not understand reality. And reality is only one object, that is Brahman. There's nothing else for Advaita. What Madhvacharya is saying is that is not at all true. Everything we perceive here is true, but it is limited. But even if we get moksha, we become purer and more, we have more ananda, happiness, bliss, everything like that, but we'll still be serving Hari, who is unreachable far beyond any person. So even in moksha, it is constant, but we will not have dukkha in moksha. Dukkha, we will not be upset with anything. So it's a very, very high pure state of bliss, but still not same bliss as Vishnu or Lakshmi. So that's what Madhvacharya is saying. He's saying
so it's easier to
gradation in moksha.
This view. It's easier to understand this view than the Advaita view.
True. Okay, now it's 7:46. I think we should go. I also need to leave because today I have a lot of work to do. I'm traveling back to Bangalore. So in a couple of days, I will be in Bangalore, but I have to do a lot of work here before I get there. Okay. Asmat Sarvagurubhyo Namaha. Shri Krishna Parabrahmane Namaha. Shri Lakshmi Narasimha Parabrahmane Namaha. Shri Lakshmi Havadara Parabrahmane Namaha. Sarvam Shri Krishna Arpanamastu.
Namaskaram.
Namaskaram.